Given a polynomial and a binomial, use long division to divide the polynomial by the binomial. Number 1, you're going to set up the division problem. Number 2, you determine the first term of the quotient by dividing the leading term of the dividend by the leading term of the divisor. You're going to multiply the answer by the divisor and write it below the like terms of the dividend. Subtract the bottom binomial from the top binomial. Bring down the next term of the dividend. Repeat steps 2 through 5 until reaching the last term of the dividend. If the remainder is non-zero, express as a fraction using the divisor as the denominator. So here, example 1, we're using long division to divide a second degree polynomial. So you have to recognize which one is the dividend and which one is the divisor. So we know that the divisor is x plus 1, and then we're dividing it into the polynomial, or the dividend, 5x squared plus 3x minus 2. So the first thing we need to figure out is look at the first term of the divisor and look at the first term of the dividend. The first term of the dividend is 5x squared. The first term of the divisor is x. We want to figure out how many times does x go into 5x squared, or what's 5x squared divided by x? Well, the answer to that is 5x. And so that's what we're going to write up here. And then we're going to multiply it through. Now, what's 5x times x? Well, that gives us 5x squared. What's 5x times 1? That's plus 5x. Okay, now we need to subtract, or we can say that we need to change the signs. So by changing the signs, we're going to get minus 5x squared plus minus 5x. And now we're going to go ahead and then add. Well, 5x squared minus 5x squared gives us 0. And then 3x minus 5x is minus 2x. Now the next step is we want to bring down the minus 2. So now we're going to look at the first term that's left over. And the first term that's left over is negative 2x. And we're going to divide it by the first term in the divisor. So we're going to divide that by x. Well, negative 2x divided by x is minus 2. So we're going to write minus 2 up here. And then we're going to multiply minus 2 through the divisor. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 1 is minus 2. And then again, what we want to do is we want to change the sign. So it's going to become a plus here, and that one's going to become a plus. So when we add, what do we get? We get a remainder of 0. So if you recall from our previous example, remember here that the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor is our answer. Well, the quotient is 5x minus 2 plus the remainder, which is 0 over x plus 1. Which is basically just equal to 5x minus 2. Now, because we get a remainder of 0, okay, that says that this is a factor of the dividend. Okay, and why do we mean that? That's because if we take x plus 1 and multiply that by 5x minus 2, then we should get the dividend. So let's go ahead and multiply that. If we use either FOIL or the box method, we have x and then we have 1, and then we have 5x and then we have minus 2. Well, x times 5x is 5x squared. X times minus 2 is minus 2x. 1 times 5x is 5x. And 1 times minus 2 is minus 2. So if we combine like terms, we end up with 5x squared, and 5x minus 2x is plus 3x, and then minus 2. And you can see here that that matches our dividend. So what we're saying here is if you get a remainder of 0, then that means the quotient is a factor of the dividend. Now, again, the quotient is 5x minus 2. The remainder is 0. So we're going to write the result as the following. So we can either write this as 5x minus 2, Or we can multiply both sides by x plus 1, and that means it would equal x plus 1 times 5x minus 2. Now, this division problem had a remainder of 0, and again, this tells us that the dividend is divided evenly by the divisor, and that the divisor is a factor, again, very important here, is a factor of the dividend.